Emily Reef is a kindergarten teacher in a small town in the USA. She takes a pregnancy test in the bathroom after school. She cries when it's negative. Emily walks into her classroom and, through the windows, sees a little blonde boy waiting outside. The boy, Brian, was one of her favorite students when he was in her class. She sits with him and says he can come to her classroom the next time his mom runs late. Emily watches a Latina janitor go into her classroom. She wants Brian to go into the school and tell the janitor only to mop the floors once he leaves. Emily further explains that he could have slipped and hurt himself. Brian is hesitant, and Emily says she needs him to be a big man by standing up for himself so he can teach people to respect him. Brian seems uncomfortable, but does what she says. Brian's mom arrives and asks what Brian is doing. Emily says that the woman was mopping right where he was walking, and he almost slipped and got really hurt. Brian's mom is grateful and tells Emily she'll make a good mother. Emily thanks her, and they say goodbye. Emily walks along a path through the woods and gets a prepaid call from her brother, Jeff, who is in prison. She declines the call. Emily meets a woman who is dismissive until she realizes Emily is going to the same meeting as her. The woman introduces herself as Leslie. They casually chat as they walk together. Leslie works at Kim's store and has been in town for 2 weeks. They walk into an upstairs room of a church. There are 4 women there: Kim, Marjorie, Jessica, and Alice. Emily puts her dish with the rest of the snacks and says it is perfect for their first meeting. It's a pie with a Nazi swastika drawn on it. Marjorie asks if it's for real, and Emily laughs and says no one can take a joke anymore. They all laugh and cut the pie. The meeting begins. Emily wants everyone to get to know and support each other through multicultural warfare. Emily introduces herself as a teacher at the school. She wants to be a mom, but is having difficulty getting pregnant. She says that maybe God is giving her a higher purpose, like this club. Alice comments that she likes the name of the club. The name is shown to be Daughters of Aryan Unity. Marjorie is told to go after Emily. She says she's not sure if she's meant to be there, and apologizes to Emily, saying she doesn't want to make her mad. Emily says Marjorie could never make her angry, and asks Marjorie if there's a particular reason why she joined. Marjorie explains that she'd worked hard for 2 years to get a pay raise. A Colombian woman started working at the same place shortly after Marjorie did, and was promoted instead of Marjorie. She tried to stand up for herself by asking her manager why she wasn't promoted, and was told that the Colombian woman had better leadership skills. Still, Marjorie insists she knows it's because the woman is brown and was promoted because of diversity. She didn't know what else to do, so she joined the club. Alice is next. She says she lives alone, which is not how it's supposed to be. She hopes the group can keep growing because being part of the group makes her feel more like herself. It's Jessica's turn. She is pleased with what she found at the meeting. Her father was the president of a KKK chapter, and she's been a member her whole life. She doesn't tell people that because the media portrays them as scary. Jessica insists that she's not scary, especially as she's pregnant with her 5th child. Kim goes next. She says she's a mom of 2 and wanted more kids, but they couldn't afford it because the Jewish people who own the banks wouldn't give them a loan. Kim wants to start a newsletter that shares their ideas and way of thinking so they can reach more like-minded people. Emily encourages Leslie to go next. Leslie says she's there because Kim invited her. She was in prison for a while and became close with a group of people who taught her the correct racial beliefs and expressed how much she missed the simple way of prison life. Leslie wants to have a family one day, similar to the one she found in prison. Alice says she'll take notes from their meeting and email it to everyone later. Jessica isn't sure they should leave a trail of emails about their club. Emily becomes angry and says that nothing they've done or said is wrong or illegal. Jessica apologizes, and Emily's mood changes instantly. She apologizes to Jessica. Emily says their first newsletter must be soft on the outside, so their ideas can be easily shared with a mainstream audience. She goes on to say that they are a secret weapon that no one checks at the door because they tread quietly. The church leader, Father Marcus, calls Emily out of the room. He quietly and firmly tells her that she and the ladies must go, as he doesn't want any trouble. Emily pretends to be calm and chooses not to tell the club they're being kicked out, but rather suggests that they go back to her house for some wine. Jessica and Alice say no because they already have plans. As they leave, Leslie and Marjorie walk ahead of the group. Marjorie offers Leslie some of the strong liquor she carries with her. Alice and Jessica say goodbye, and Jessica jokingly makes a Nazi salute as she leaves. The others laugh, and Emily returns the salute after checking that no one is watching. Kim, Marjorie, Emily, and Leslie are going to Kim's store to pick up some wine. Emily phones her husband and uses a sweet and cheery voice as she asks him to pick her up at Kim's store. Marjorie has a smoke outside the store. Kim and Leslie chat at the counter as Emily walks through the store, picking up snacks and wine. Two Asian American sisters, Anne and Lily, enter the store. Emily hides when she sees them. Marjorie walks in after them and stands at the door. Kim says they're closed. Lily, the younger of the sisters, says they're just getting a bottle of wine. Kim says she can refuse service to anyone she wants to. Lily insults her, and Anne tries to get them to leave. Emily gets angry and walks out of her hiding place. Anne sees her and tells Lily that Emily is the sister of Jeff, the man who raped her. Emily refuses to let them leave, saying Anne wants to buy wine. Emily and Kim decide that the bottle of wine is $300. Anne pays and takes her wine. Marjorie refuses to let Anne and Lily leave. She and Leslie insult them with racial slurs. Marjorie shoves Anne, and Lily pushes Marjorie to protect Anne. Kim pulls out a handgun and tells Anne and Lily to leave. The sisters quickly go, but Lily yells at Emily that her brother is a rapist and will be raped in prison for it. Anne drags her away. Emily is upset about her brother, and the other three ladies are upset about how the sisters treated and spoke to Emily and the rest of them. Emily's husband, Craig, walks in and asks what's happening. He comforts Emily, who cries in his arms. She tells him that Anne is threatening her. Craig says they should go home. Leslie wants to shut Anne up and asks Emily where Anne lives. Leslie suggests things they could do to Anne's home as punishment. Emily thinks it's funny. Craig tries to get Emily to go home with him, but the other three ladies insist that Anne pays for her disrespect. Emily is easily convinced to join them. Craig is silent and Emily wants to know what's wrong as they're just going to play a practical joke on Anne. Craig says it's not a joke, it's a felony. Emily tells Craig to be a big man and to teach people how to respect him. Craig makes everyone leave their phones in Kim's store so they can't be traced and caught. The 5 of them get into Kim's minivan, and Emily directs them to Anne's house. They arrive at Anne's home. Marjorie is angry that Anne has a large property and a lovely house. Craig is uncomfortable that there is only one way in and out of the property. They find a hidden spare key and unlock the door. Craig waits outside. They break some things and search for Anne's passport because they want to burn it. Craig walks in and says their time is up. They don't want to leave, but hear someone drive to the house. They immediately switch off the lights and hide. Craig is angry with Emily for not listening to him, and she slaps him. Anne finds her door unlocked and leaves. Emily makes Craig go after her. He brings her into the house while she's kicking and screaming. He has her sit down and tells Anne it's just a practical joke. Kim takes out her gun and points it at Anne. Craig tries to make Emily go with him and tells Kim to put the gun down. Leslie tapes Anne's hands and legs together and puts tape on her mouth while Marjorie holds Anne down. Craig walks away and Emily follows him to the kitchen. She wants to know what's wrong. He says it's no longer funny and they're in big trouble. Emily is harsh and tells him to stop whining. He walks outside and sees Lily in the driveway. She drops what she's carrying and runs, but he catches her and drags her into the house. They tape Lily in the same way they taped up Anne. Craig storms into the kitchen. Emily talks in a soft, sweet voice and tries to calm him down, but he shoves her and tells her to get off him. He leaves, and Emily starts crying. Leslie reassures her that he's weak and that they don't need him. The 4 ladies step outside to talk about what they will do with the sisters. Leslie believes the only way to keep them quiet is to make them too scared to talk about what happened. They then need to clean the house and erase any evidence they were there. They all agree and go back inside. They force feed Lily peanuts, pieces of banana, and alcohol. Emily puts mayonnaise on Lily's hair. Leslie rips Anne's sweater. Emily and Leslie threaten Anne. Lily starts choking. They put her on the ground and she starts foaming at the mouth. They take the tape off Anne's mouth and she shouts that Lily is allergic to peanuts and that an EpiPen is in her bag. Leslie pretends not to understand her and then walks upstairs to get the medicine. Lily dies. Leslie walks in with the EpiPen and casually says they no longer need it. Anne holds onto Lily and sobs. The ladies panic. Emily shouts at Leslie, blaming her, and Leslie shouts back that they did all of this for Emily. Emily composes herself and tells the ladies to put gloves on. Leslie says they need to make it look like rape because no one will respect a woman who was raped. Leslie gets a carrot to assault Anne while the rest of the women clean up. Emily pulls Leslie aside and apologizes for shouting at her. She asks Leslie to do what she can't. Leslie understands and agrees. She suffocates Anne with a cushion. They put the sisters' bodies in a tarp bag. They drag the bag to Kim's car and put it in the boot. They drive to the lake where they plan to sink the bodies. Emily and Leslie shout at each other again, and Emily quickly apologizes. Leslie threatens to hurt Emily if she does it again. Emily says they'll go back to the house after dumping the bodies and erase evidence they were there. They arrive at the lake and drag the body bag onto a small boat. Emily and Leslie row out to the middle of the lake and dump the bodies. They row back to shore. Anne is still alive and escapes from the bag. She reaches the surface and gasps for air.